Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is a kitchen cleaning and then decluttering and organizing. So we need to get just the daily mess cleaned up. Not that this happens daily, but you know what I mean. We have to get the mess cleaned up, and then we're going to go through a couple spots and do some decluttering and organizing, and that will finish off the decluttering and organizing for the time being in our kitchen. So we're just going to jump right into it. Alright, I want to apologize for taking so long to get this video out to you. I've been really busy lately with doctor's appointments and stuff like that. Not for me. If you watched my last video, then you're aware of what my daughter had been going through. And then now she is actually due to have another surgery this coming Friday, so it'll be 3 weeks actually since her last one. And she went in for her 2-week postpartum checkup, and she's still having pain and issues. So now they're going to go in through her abdomen and with scopes and cameras and stuff and check out and see if she has endometriosis. I have endometriosis, so they want to check and see if she has it. Then we can start dealing with it early. They said if they see any while they're in there, they're going to burn it out, and yeah, so that's going to be done this Friday. So we've had doctor's appointments dealing with her issues up until that. Like I said, I explained that more in the last video of what she previously just had done. And I'm so sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background. Normally I do this without them in the room, but I also normally do it on the weekend when my husband is here to hang out with them. So but yeah, so we've been dealing with that. Oh, there's Nico. He's so cute. He's a mama's boy. So, yeah, we have that. Back on January 8th, I believe it was, when my daughter was leaving school. She opened the car door and smacked herself in the head really hard enough to give herself a concussion and actually damage, or injure, I guess, not damage, injure the nerve that runs down the one side of her face. So we've had concussion appointments at the local concussion clinic every 2 weeks since that's happened. She is going to be seeing a urologist Monday, I believe, next Monday. So lots of things going on with her. And my son has had this cough since we all got sick on Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm scrubbing the table off because it sometimes, just like drips from eating dinner or whatever. It doesn't come off from just wiping. It needed a good scrub, so that's what we're doing today. And I encourage you to keep an eye on Padre while I'm doing this. He is the white and gray cat, and he is just something else, and he kept attacking my sponge. He doesn't care if it's soapy wet or not, but it was pretty funny, pretty amusing. But yeah, so my son has had this cough since Thanksgiving. We've gone to the doctor a couple times for that. And they keep saying, well, as long as it's not getting worse, you just kind of have to wait it out. And they've tried a couple things, but I don't know. That show was just getting frustrated. So we've been really busy, having a lot going on. My daughter had like a day at college because she's going to a regular college, but the nursing school division of it. And they had incoming nursing student day, so we had to go to that, and just really busy. But so we took a day and went skiing. Now normally we like to make a mini trip out of it, but we didn't want to spend the money on that this year, so we just went for the day, got up in the morning, drove there, skied, drove home. But yeah, I just felt like with everything that's been going on, we just needed a day to just have fun, not worry. And basically my son ended up spraining his wrist, which just added to the doctor's appointment, so that one kind of backfired on us. But that's a long-winded way of saying that I'm so sorry that I have been so busy lately that it's taking me longer. I'm going to try to not let it be this long, a little over a week before I get you out videos. But, sometimes life happens. And I edited the video yesterday. If you've never edited a video, there's a lot involved. You kind of have to chop it up, cut pieces out, and then put it back together. But, and I sat down and did this voiceover yesterday. I did the voiceover actually for the entire thing, almost 45 minutes worth, and my microphone was on the wrong setting, so none of it actually recorded, and I could have cried. I felt pretty defeated at that moment. So I don't know if I'm going to talk. I hate doing voiceovers, like redoing voiceovers, because I just like it to be real and authentic, and I like to be just as surprised as what's going to come out of my mouth as you guys are. Keeps life interesting, but here we are. So yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm trying, you guys. I really am trying to get you guys more videos more often, but it's just been a little crazy lately. Hopefully that calms down soon. Probably not, but that is life, right? So yeah, I am just got to get the kitchen cleaned up. I mean, it doesn't take long. Does it take long in this house for our kitchen to get dirty? Not dirty, but like cluttery, messy. Life, teenagers, I don't, things get set, and we all have, like, the end of the counter, things get set there, and then the island, as you saw, the island that's a pretty big hot spot. Everybody sets crap on the island, and the one end of the table, like the far end, because typically we need a big table because we have a big family, and there for a while when I bought the table, everybody was here. Well, now not that many. Like my stepson, who's 20, he had moved out, and so him, his girlfriend, they weren't really here, and or they aren't really, so we need a big table. I can take the middle piece and smush it down some, but that just seems silly to me. We have the space for it, so it's fine. But the one end that we don't typically, we all sit towards the one end when we eat, so the other end, nobody typically sits at unless we happen to have a bunch of people here. So I mean, I'm guilty of that one. That's a spot where it's easy to set stuff there because it's not really in the way per se, but yeah, it gets a little clutter zone. So I had to get things cleaned up and get rid of the clutter zone, and I threw some dishes in, and now I have to wash my pots, my pans, and that aren't supposed to go in the dishwasher. Will I put them in the dishwasher at some point? Probably, because I know myself, but not yet. They're still too new. My daughter's boyfriend got them for me at Christmas, and I'm not ready to take that risk with them yet. At some point, maybe, probably, I'm sure at some point they'll end up in the dishwasher, but not yet. But they honestly clean up like a dream. They're the Carote, Carote, so however you pronounce that, brand. And they're just lovely. They really are. They're lovely. They're beautiful, and they wash up really easily and really well, so it's not a big deal. And my baking sheet will fit in the dishwasher. I have to struggle with it, give it a little fight sometimes, but it had gotten some staining on it. I think it was from when I made twice baked potatoes. And I was like, maybe if I scrub it by hand, that'll come off. It definitely didn't. And I believe I'm out of, Barkeeper's Friend or anything like that. So it's whatever, I mean, it's a baking sheet. They get beat up over time. Kind of is what it is. It's just sad because it was pretty and pink, and it's pretty new. But, so yeah, we had to get that stuff washed up. And then I scrub out my sink. And if you are new here, you may see that it may still look like my sink is really grubby dirty. It's really not. I mean, like it is right now because I'm going to scrub it out. But it's really not, because it is stained and it is starting to chip. And that's a whole story in and on itself. I'm going to make a video one of these days going through my house on like and talking about upcoming projects that I want to do and explaining things. So a full explanation will be in that video, but just know for now, it is not ever as dirty as it looks. It is just stained. And then I put baking soda and vinegar in my drains. I like to do this every so often to help keep them cleared out. From what I've researched, it seems to be okay with your pipes, but I'm going to tell you to use this at your own discretion because I don't want to get sued. I'm no plumber. So, but that's what I do. You know, dump some baking soda down there, pour some vinegar, mix a little volcano, if you will, and just gets it, any like gunk or anything cleared up out of there. I don't have a disposal. I wanted one when my ex and I remodeled our kitchen. That is another story too, but that was the one thing I didn't get, was a garbage disposal in my sink, and I think I'm happy about it in hindsight. I can definitely see why people like it, and it's handy, but to me it's another thing that I have to clean, that I have to maintain, and you know, I would rather just pull any chunks out with my fingers. It's gross, but it is what it is. The last thing I need is another thing that I have to make sure is clean and maintained. Let's be honest. And I'm also going to put vinegar in a little baggie and put it, because I checked like my faucet and it was starting to get, you know, like that white buildup. I don't know exactly what it is. Could have looked it up, didn't. So, probably, I want to say it's calcification. That could be totally wrong. I have no idea, to be honest. It just sounds like that would be something that it would be. Really, I have no clue. But I do know that you could put vinegar, if you put vinegar in a bag, like a baggie, and like twist tie it around your faucet and let it sit. Depending on how bad it is how long you have to let it sit there. And it'll basically, the vinegar will just break all that down and like munch it away. And sometimes you have to give it a little scrub. I usually do with a sponge, like the scrubby side of a sponge. Give it a little scrub off when I'm done. Quite frankly, this time it wasn't that bad. That faucet's fairly new. But I went ahead and gave it a little scrub anyways, just to make sure, you know, any residual, there we go, residual stuff was left on there. I tried to show you. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. It's hard to tell on my computer screen. But the bubbles coming off of it is basically it like eating away that build up on there. And for mine, it didn't take that long, but like I said, it wasn't that bad. So yeah, so this is the Lazy Susan cupboard, obviously. And I didn't really declutter. There was nothing to declutter in here per se. It just needed reorganized. I have yet to find a good organization system for this cupboard because of what I keep in this cupboard. Like, I know that they make those little Lazy Susan dividers, like special little containers made to fit around the thing, which I think is super cool, and I've almost got them a couple times. But with what I keep in there, it's like those little containers aren't gonna do me any good. Where did I go? It's hard to say. Why didn't I cut this clip out? Why didn't I even see this earlier when I was doing my voiceover? Oh, I saw my shadow. I'm coming back. Oh, I went to get my sweeper. It's fine. I don't like to leave a boring screen with you guys. Sometimes they slip past me, you know? But I did look because there's like, I don't know if you can see, there's like little pins in the middle. And I was like, I don't know, maybe having a blonde moment, I'm not sure. But, and if you're saying I'm not blonde, I understand that. I was when I was younger. I was like, oh, I could just like adjust the shelf because, you know, and I'm like, oh, that would be great. Yeah. Yes, I can adjust the shelf, but it's also like screwed to the inside of the door. Duh, it's pretty obvious it's right there. And that was not something that I wanted to get into. So I was like, you know what? I put the little pins back. You could see me like fidgeting with things. Because I'm like, why isn't this sliding? It looks like it should slide. And I'm like, then it occurred to me, like I said, like, duh, it's screwed into the door. And then I felt dumb and I put the pins back and I left it be because that's like a whole project in itself. You know what I mean? The pins going back in. I'm like, oh, anyways, so I just clean it out. But we keep bread and our toaster in there. Those two things combined. Not so much of the bread, well, sometimes the bread. Because crumbs like get in the bag, and then like when you twist the bag around and crumbs end up in there. Mostly it's the toaster, but we don't eat toast that often. We just pull it out and put it back. I don't like to keep things on the counter that aren't being used that much. That being said, maybe I should put that little Keurig in a cupboard because we don't use it that often. That's a thought for later. But anywho, yeah, I like to keep things in there because I don't like like I said, I don't like having things on my countertop that aren't used enough to keep them there. I tried putting our air fryer. It was actually my other air fryer that I have before I got this new one. It was slightly smaller, but I tried to put it underneath there, and it was constantly getting pulled in and out, and I was like, fine. So I'll leave it on the counter, and then like when you do that, then it's like nobody wants to use it, but then you put it away and everybody wants to use it all the time. I'm pretty sure there's no winning with that. But so yeah, I just had to reorganize this. We had to move, a little while ago, I had to move the bread into this Lazy Susan cupboard because we have one cat in particular that likes to drag loaves of bread. I used to have a bread basket in it, like on the one shelf in my pantry. And after one day, this particular cat decided that bread is delicious and would steal loaves of bread and drag them onto the floor, chew through the bag, and then chew into the bread. So I was like, take this sucker. So I put it in a cupboard. And that's actually how my storage containers ended up on the shelves in the pantry is what I was going to say. On the shelves in the island. If that's not what I said before, that's what I meant. The island, the island, the island. I am not checking this voiceover to see if what I said, so we're going to go with that. But, so yeah, I just needed, the bread gets kind of out of control. I really need more room for the bread. I just need more room in general. I need more room. But my house is old, and there isn't that much room. Storage room. Any, storage we have in this house. For the most part, with the exception of, one cabinet that I'll show you earlier, we had to put in here. So yeah, that's why I was going to raise the things, because my stand mixer won't stand up in there. It has to lay down. But I don't want to leave it sitting out on my counter, so, it kind of is what it is, you know? And so, basically, I was, for the most part, just, straightening. But that's, organizing, right? Sort of. Straightening and cleaning. The cupboard needed it, because people will just, get bread out and then, chuck bread back in there, and stuff gets shoved, and it's out of control. So this was my favorite project, which might seem a little ridiculous, but then, that's pretty much how I roll. And I don't know why that vehicle's there's a school bus. I'm sorry, I'm sitting in my living room, which I normally don't do, and there's a truck with a horse trailer, which is common in these parts, but he was driving really slow because there was a school bus. Anyways, this drawer in my fridge, it's our meat and cheese drawer. That's what we use it for. And I had containers in there to separate different kinds, like the string cheese and stuff like that. And it worked, but it didn't, because they weren't quite big enough to fill the whole drawer. There was a little gap behind them. Too small of a gap to put a container back there, plus, you would have never been able to, really get into that container. It would have been just, a placeholder, if you will. And so, without that, they kind of slid around, and it just wasn't ideal. Now, I've never seen anybody personally in a video do this before. I'm not saying anybody hasn't done it. I'm not claiming credit to this. I just personally haven't seen it. So I'm not saying I'm a genius, but am I a genius? No, but I bought the plastic like, I think they're drawer dividers, I think is how they're sold. I got like a package of, I don't remember, 5 or 6. If you hear my son in the background, I'm so sorry. His bedroom is fairly right off the living room and he's playing video games. But I got these plastic dividers, and I got the white plastic ones. Like the wood ones that I use in my drawers. Well, I got white plastic ones for in the fridge because that just made sense to me. Like, I would match the inside of the fridge. It looks freaking amazing, by the way. But I actually originally got one to put in the freezer because I wanted to separate the top shelf. Again, I had like containers there, and personally, that's all I had seen anybody ever use was containers in the fridge and the freezer. And I feel like sometimes you lose a little bit of space, even if it's just like a hint, or maybe the containers don't fit quite right. Anyways, so I bought these dividers. That's what I went to get. I'm not disappearing on you. But and there's my fridge freaking out. My fridge has, there's a door alarm, and it will ding at you once you've left it open to a certain point, and then if you continue ignoring it, it will ding and flash the lights at you. I can turn it off, but like, I'm never in there doing anything that long for me to warrant like turning it off and then turning it back on, because we like to keep it on in case somebody like thinks that they smacked the door shut, but like it doesn't shut the whole way, then you know, because it dings at you. But so I put the dividers in and put the string cheese over there. I'm kind of out of string cheese. I need to get some more, but it has a spot. And then I put like the blocks of cheese in the next one because we're big cheese eaters in our family. Sometimes I use the block to shred it. I like that. It's much better that way, but it's also not as convenient as the bags. Let's be honest. I think we can all agree on that. But, and then I have, like, we always have shredded cheese. Always. Normally we have larger bags of shredded cheese, so I gave it a nice big wide opening. We just don't happen to have any at this moment. We have the smaller bags, but typically we do have the large size because that's, I don't know, we like cheese. And then on the far end is where I put the meat. That is deer bologna, venison if you're fancy. We just call it deer meat around here. Ta-da! Look how nice it looks. It almost looks like it was made that way. It's awesome. But and pepperoni. We always have pepperoni, so that goes in the meat side. And when we have lunch meat, I'll put the meat over with the pepperoni. The deer bologna is not something that we have all the time. And the cheese, obviously, with like the shredded cheese area. So here I'm just cleaning off the counters real quick. I didn't clean off the counters earlier because I knew that like there was more to be coming. You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, I don't want to sit on a crummy counter, which is ridiculous because I sat on a crummy floor. Because I'm not cleaning the floor till you're all done. That's just silly. But anyways, so this second shelf is coffee mugs. Now, my husband drinks coffee every day. Well, I drink coffee every day too. It's just iced, so I don't use a mug. But one moment, please. Okay, so yes, I thought my Walmart order was here. It wasn't. My dog saw something else. So coffee mugs. So my husband drinks coffee every day, but typically he takes his travel mug to work. But on weekends, obviously he drinks it in a coffee mug, right? That being said, coffee mugs has always been an easy present for him. I've gotten him coffee mugs. The kids have gotten him coffee mugs for birthdays, Father's Days, that sort of thing. Lots of coffee mugs. I'm probably going to say coffee mugs a million times. So sorry if that gets annoying, but we're talking about coffee mugs. I don't know. And I have some in there also. But I'll drink hot chocolate in the winter. Hot tea when I feel unwell. Maybe I should look into drinking like sleepy time tea at night to help me sleepy. Anyways, so, and my kids will also drink hot chocolate and hot tea from time to time, but none of us very often. Anywho, we have a lot of coffee mugs, and like it's kind of ridiculous. Now, and a bad cat. But you could see me looking at them. I literally have some that I brought with me from home or something. I don't know how they got here. I must have brought them from home, right? But anyways, I have some that I decluttered any that didn't have a real emotional attachment, not one that we had gotten from my husband, any of his like super dad mugs, or like none. My mom has gotten me some, and obviously I want to keep those. She's gotten some for my kids. Obviously we want to keep those, but we just have some like nothing mugs, or mugs that we've had so long that like they just look white because there's no print on the outside anymore. Stuff like that. Anyways, I get it decluttered because it was getting to the point where we were like, I was having to just like shove the coffee mugs in, and that's never good, right? So I get it to the point that I disappear, apparently. So it's hard to say what I'm doing. There, I'm back. It's fine. This is me deciding on which mugs to keep. If I just stop and like stare down, that's what's happening in my brain, and I'm trying to decide in what order I want to put them back in the cupboard. It sounds ridiculous, but that's what I'm doing. But then I ended up with space, and I can move my measuring cups up to the second shelf. Whoop whoop. So that's a win, because the first shelf is kind of a mess. It's organized chaos, I guess you would call it. Storage is a big issue here. But yeah, so now we're moving on to my spice cupboard. I'm like, ugh. So I fell victim to this, and I'm okay with it that I fell victim to this, but because it does bring me joy in a sense. So that you were seeing them for a while all over YouTube. The wooden like shelves with all the nice matching spice containers with the wooden lids. I do love them. They are beautiful, and when everything is nice and filled and neat and organized, and I open that cupboard, I'm like, it makes me happy. It really does. That being said, we have a bit of an issue with this cupboard. As you could see when I opened it, it was a cluttered mess. Why was it a cluttered mess? Because some of the spices that I use, I have to fill that little my son in the background, if you could hear him. If not, then that's good, but it's just funny. He's a funny kid. Anyways, so some of these spices, like garlic powder, for instance, I use a crap ton of garlic powder. I'm predominantly Italian. I've said it before. There's like a meme joke online about white people not seasoning their food well. And Morgan even always says when she sees it, she's like, I want to comment on people that post these things and say, well, you've never eaten my mom's cooking, because I season the bejesus out of everything. But especially like garlic powder and stuff like that. And it was just ridiculous for me, honestly, to continuously filling that little container. Like, it seems so silly to like fill it and then 2 days later fill it again, and then 2 days, you know what I mean? It was like constant. So I was just like grabbing the big container and using that of garlic powder. That's my example because I use it the most. And then just putting the big container in there and saying screw the little one, because I got tired of filling it all the time. Now, maybe you have these and you have no problem refilling them all the time. Maybe you don't use it that much, or like use that much of any particular seasoning. But I do. So what I decided was to find a happy medium. And I feel like this is a very important thing to share. And I'm so sorry that you can't see exactly what I'm doing. I do my best with camera angles, guys, and sometimes it just doesn't work out and I block the whole view. I don't mean to. I try to be aware. Sometimes I'm just not. But anyways, I collapsed the little shelves, or the little step thing, down. Because it's expandable, so I collapsed it down. And put all, because not all the seasonings I use all the time, like thyme or rosemary. Like, I don't make chicken noodle soup every day. So that there's stuff in there. In general, most of them, a lot of them, is fine to leave in those little containers and fill them every so often. And so I found this method because I was like, should I just get rid of all of these? Because like I was tired of it being a cluttered mess, and I was like, happy medium. I keep the ones that I don't have to refill that often on the collapsed little step thing, and it looks beautiful and neat, and it still brings me joy. But the bigger containers that I don't want to constantly keep refilling on the left-hand side with like the cooking spray and the olive oil and, my matcha and stuff like that. So, You can see like my giant members mark, which is Sam's Club if you don't know, garlic powder, and it actually looks pretty low, so I'm thinking the next time I put an order in, I should probably get some. But like that, Cajun seasoning, chili powder, there is some like coarse like restaurant style pepper over there, but I kept those things out on the left hand side so I didn't have to constantly refill them, and collapsed the thing down, and now it still has like the prettiness of the nice containers and the steps, but it also is a little bit more realistic in keeping the big containers on the left hand side that I use constantly. And I need a higher tripod because this is as high as that one gets, and due to the angle I have a constant double chin, so please don't stare at it. And I am sneezing because I was refilling the pepper shaker, because I like to keep the salt and pepper in the little pretty ones for when I grab them and put them on the table like at dinner time, it just looks nicer. But so yeah, bless me, I guess. Oh no, there's kids riding their bikes past, and my dogs love kids. Okay, so it's the next day now, and if I look a little bit of a train wreck, it's simply because I just got out of the shower. And I don't comb my hair. I let my hair air dry first off when I get out of the shower, and I don't comb it. I just take the towel off my head and let it be. If you don't know this, your hair is actually most fragile when it's wet. It's due to stretching and breaking. So if you can, if you let it air dry, like I'm really lucky. One moment. So sorry, I told you there were kids riding back and forth in front of our house on bikes. And the dogs love kids. Anyways, yeah, this is just an odd little, call it an extra little tidbit of info, if you will. If you can let your hair air dry without combing it, and then wait until it's dry and then brush it, it's better for your hair. Anyways, this cupboard in my kitchen, the top shelf we use to like hold medicine and vitamins. I would say, dare I say, daily medicine, but it's not like I go to, like, oh, I gotta take my ibuprofen every day. That's not what I'm saying. But, like more frequently used, whatever. And we have immunity vitamins, what we all take, and stuff like that. Excuse me, tickle in my throat. I'm talking a lot. 32 minutes in. So anyways, we keep that on the top shelf. But we also had things in there that didn't need to be there. Like, if somebody ends up sick and we have the cough syrup out here because they're taking the cough syrup, and that's fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind it being there for the time being. But like, then once the person gets better, it can go back to the closet and a bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need cough syrup out 24/7, 365 on the top shelf in our kitchen. It was like taking up the entire top shelf of just like random crap up there. And it just didn't need to be there. So I cleared that out. And then I actually had enough room to move like some of the smaller glasses up. So it just made like the glass cupboard, if you will, a little bit more organized. Now this section of my house, the top cupboards, is basically what we're decluttering and organizing. I just had to clean up the mess. That's also a hot spot. Catches things right there. See the box of cereal? FYI, that box of cereal was empty. But the box of cereal sitting in front of the empty cereal dispensers is pretty much how it goes around here. But, like, heaven forbid we dump the cereal in the dispenser. So, yes, that top cover was actually from it's original to the house, I believe. I mean, I guess they could have built it later in, like, the 50s or something. My house was originally built in, I want to say it's 1862. I might be off by like a year or something, but I think that's what it was. But I'm just laughing at myself for like being such a train wreck. But it's fine. We do what we do. We do what we can do around here. Anyways, so it's a very shallow cabinet. The bottom was actually a cabinet also, but very old style cabinet. When I open the top cupboards, you'll actually see the little spot where like the cabinet used to have like those hooks that like stuck into it. I don't know how to explain that. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But we've remodeled it, but we've never changed the inside of the cabinet. It actually still has really old, like shelf liner in it. It's kind of cool. But the bottom was a cabinet. Also, my ex-husband changed it into, that's where our garbage is. It tilts out and stays away. And if you think it's weird that we keep our cereal dispensers on top of the garbage, I mean, I guess that's your prerogative, but like, it's really tucked away in there. So honestly, it's fine. And so, yeah, it is what it is. Oh, somebody's squeaking. Well, the kids are squeaking something. Maybe it's like a bike horn or something. That's what the dogs are. Anyways, we keep our travel mugs up here. Obviously, as you can see, we keep bowls on the bottom shelf because the cereal's right underneath it. Well, in theory. But our travel, and we also keep plastic cups up there. We have plastic cups from things like our local, and when I say local, I mean Pittsburgh, which is like an hour, 45 to an hour from my house, depending on how fast you drive. But the concert arena, amphitheater, whatever. It's the outside concert area in the Pittsburgh area. The name's changed so many times, I can't even remember what it's. Starlight now, maybe again, I don't know. But if you go there, if you go for one concert and you buy a drink, and I mean like pop, I'm not talking like an alcoholic drink, I'm talking like a pop. You get a cup and you can take it back for the rest of the season. Like I said, it's only like a spring through fall kind of thing because it is an outdoor arena. Indoors, we have different places for those. Anyways, you get these plastic cups and you can bring them back if you come back to multiple concerts. So we always keep them just in case we end up back there. It'd be silly to buy another cup or, spend another, like, what is it, $10 or something for a drink? I don't know. So we have cups like that in there, cups from Penguin games and stuff like that. So just some of those cups needed to go because nobody ever goes for a giant plastic cup when they're getting a drink at home. So I got that organized so that there's like a little bit more room because it was getting pretty bad in there. We were having to like really push and shove. So now I'm filling the cereal dispensers because we had three open boxes of Frosted Flakes in the pantry. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. I thought at least one of them was still sealed. Nope, they were all three open and hardly any in each one of them. So I'm like, well, so I added them all to the container. And these are the OXO. I don't know if it's OXO, or if it's just simply OXO. That's what I call it, brand. But they are the best cereal dispensers. This might sound silly, but I actually did a lot of research when I wanted to get cereal dispensers. And a lot of them have like the little turn knob in the front. And in reviews, people were saying that it was crushing the cereal. And I'm like, well, that sucks. Where these have levers on the side, so it opens like a trap door and the cereal comes out. These are a little pricey. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty sure I got mine off Amazon. They are a little pricey, but if you want a good quality cereal dispenser, then you really want these ones. OXO. And yeah, they keep cereal as fresh as I would assume you can keep cereal. Keep it from going stale, that whatnot. But yeah, not sponsored by them. That'd be cool, but I really do love the cereal dispensers. It was money well spent. One of those kinds of things, Instead of going cheaper, I paid a little more, but got a good quality item. Sometimes it doesn't matter, sometimes it does. This one, I believe it definitely did from the reviews I read on the other ones. Anywho, I'm Kobe, don't you dare bark at those kids again. Cleaning out the mini fridge because it gets pretty cruddy. It just does. People getting in and out all the time for drinks. Being down there on the floor. Yes, I guess all refrigerators are on the floor. I haven't seen a floating refrigerator yet. But it's something about like, I don't know. Just something about the mini fridge being down on the floor. It seems to get cruddier sooner. I don't know. Anywho, it needed cleaned out and then restocked, so I did get that done. One of the best things I've ever done was bought a mini fridge for drinks. Now, if you don't have a lot of drinks like pop or juices or anything like that, then maybe you don't need a mini fridge. But for me and my family, I did this actually quite a few years ago. I got our first mini fridge, and it's been a game changer. It opened up so much room in our regular refrigerator that, we can actually keep food in, it freed up a lot of room in the main fridge for food, by putting the drinks in a mini fridge. But anyways, it does get cruddy, so I just have to, I guess I don't have to do anything, but you know what I mean. I scrubbed it all down and restocked it. I was actually going to try to break away from drinking so much pop. I've done it a couple times in my life. I did it each time I was pregnant and cut it out completely. And I did it when my husband and I were going to the gym. But I really like pop, and I was doing pretty good cutting it down. And I normally drink Diet Cherry Pepsi in the bottles, like my husband's. You'll see me put in the fridge. But my local Walmart has been out of it for quite a while now. But the one time I went to order more, and I was like, oh crap, so I don't really care for a regular Diet Pepsi. I'll drink it, but it's not my fave. Maybe that's what I should buy, because I won't drink it as much. Anyways, I saw, and unfortunately it only comes in cans, so I will admit that I waste more. Anywho, it was cherry vanilla. Let me think on what would be the proper way to say it. Cherry vanilla Pepsi Zero. Oh my god, you guys. I probably should have never bought it because it is so freaking good. So yeah, that's not helping me drink more water. But, I'm a work in progress, aren't we all? We should all be works in progress because nobody is perfect. And we should all strive to be a little bit better, right? What's the saying? 1% better than yesterday, right? Every day you should try to be 1% better than the day before. So we should all be works in progress, right? Okay. Mine, I need to work on drinking less pop. Anyways, so yeah, that's delicious. If you want to try a new pop, it's pretty addicting, not gonna lie. But yeah, so we're just getting this. I want to make sure that I have time to thank you guys for being here. I like to do that. Sometimes I run out of time and I don't get to squeeze it in. But I appreciate every single one of you. My channel is growing, slowly but surely. Thank you for sticking with me when I'm not here. My dogs are chewing on a bone really loud. I don't know if it's going to come across the mic. But I always appreciate you. I'm trying to get this channel grow. First milestone is 1,000 subscribers. So let's hope we get there, guys. I'm trying. I know it might not seem like I'm working really hard, but I'm actually working really hard at it. It's just hard to balance in my crazy life. But I'm trying. So I just want to always thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps me out. Comment something down below. Let me know something about you. Anything that's going on. Anything. I like engaging with you guys and getting to know you and stuff like that. So feel free to say whatever you want down below. Just say hi. I'll say hi. Or tell me something about yourself. Where do you live? What's the weather like? Anything. I don't care. But thank you all for being here so much. I left outtakes in at the end. The one was my son came out and was playing with the tripod, and that's just I had to leave it in because A, it was funny, and B, it just is a little glimpse of what it's like around here. We try to keep things light, we enjoy each other, live happy, that sort of thing. I encourage you all to strive to do the same. So thank you so much, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye. The too picky one.
Just mess you up.
Stop. Stop it.